What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Pickups. So as usual, I'll be showing off a bunch of stuff that I bought over the last couple months or so, or month or so, somewhere around there. But I do want to tell you right off the bat that unfortunately I do not have any Dreamcast games to show you this time. I know. Before you quit the video and rage, let me tell you, I do have some Dreamcast related items to show you, and I'll show you those a bit later. But the first things I want to start off with are some gifts that I received from some fellow YouTubers. If you watched any of my recent videos, you may have already seen these, so I'm just going to go through them quickly. So the first two items I have here are from James, aka Chipsturs. You can check out his channel if you haven't already. But I received a couple items from him for helping him out with some videos, and these are the two things I got. The first thing here is an Outrun electronic handheld by Tiger Electronics. Pretty self-explanatory, released around, I believe, the late 1980s. You know, Sega Outrun electronic handheld. The second item here, which I really like, this is a Nintendo Tetris watch. This actually wasn't manufactured by Nintendo. It was manufactured by a third party. James actually told me what company that was, but I forget what it was. I'll put it in the description if I can find it. Yeah, they manufactured quite a few of these with a bunch of different games, including, as you can see here, The Legend of Zelda and Super Mario Bros. 3. There's a list of them online. They had Donkey Kong Watch, Pac-Man, and I forget what the other ones were, but there are quite a few of them. But definitely a cool item, and thanks again to James for sending these to me. Very cool. So the next two items I have here are from another YouTuber named John, or WarriorRazor is his YouTube channel. You can check that out here. But he had a 200 subscriber contest where I won a Mega Drive game. I got to pick from a few Mega Drive games that he had, and I picked this one, which, as you can see, is Crew Ball. This is a pinball game based on the Motley Crue, the band. It has songs from that band in the game. Yeah, I've only tried it a couple times so far, but it is actually a pretty good game. Unfortunately, there is only one pinball table in the game, which is kind of unfortunate, but still a pretty good game, and I might do a video on this a little later, or eventually. But yeah, that's Crew Ball. But he actually threw in this Saturn game as well as a freebie, kind of a joke, but as apparently it's a bad game. I have not played it, so I really can't comment, but this is Sega Worldwide Soccer 97. I actually can't even play it because I do not have a way to play imports. As you may or may not be able to see, you probably can't see it. It does say it's for PAL and French Saturn consoles, which I don't have. But I do plan on getting an Action Replay Plus eventually to play imports, and I will be able to play it then, which, you know, I can wait considering the actual game. But yeah, that is what I received from John, or WarriorRazor. Thanks again for sending this stuff. Very cool. Alright, so put this stuff to the side here, and I will show you my first actual pickup, which I paid for. This is one lone Nintendo 64 game, and this is Mickey's Speedway USA. This is a kart racer with Disney characters, very similar to Mario Kart 64 or Diddy Kong Racing. It's a solid racing game or kart racing game, but you know, it doesn't do a whole lot to stand out from the rest. It just kind of comes off as a clone. But if you like Disney characters, you like kart racers, this might be one to check out. Otherwise, you probably want to look at Diddy Kong Racing or Mario Kart 64. And I got this for 100 points on goozex.com, which is equivalent to about $5. Alright, so on to the Dreamcast related items which I mentioned. Let me just grab them here. And here we are. This is a stack of GamePro magazines, as you can see. All these issues are from 1999, 1998, and 1997. Most of them are from 1999, but I really enjoy reading through these. These are really, really cool. It's almost like taking a trip to the past, reading about games as if they're new or even just coming out. And it's a good way to actually find out about some new games that you've never even heard of. So you can see here, I think I just went past it. You can actually read about rare consoles such as the Nintendo 64 DD, the disk drive, which was only released in Japan and is quite rare. But it's cool to actually see some games that were never even released, such as, I believe, I don't know if they're in any of these issues or it's in any of these issues, but Half-Life for the Dreamcast is most likely in one of the issues of GamePro, which was canceled and never released. But yeah, it's just really cool to read through these. I really enjoy reading them, especially the Dreamcast articles, which, as many of you know, Dreamcast is my favorite console. But they actually have a nice Dreamcast article here as a very early preview of it. This is just after E3, I believe, when they showed it off for the first time. It says Sega's new game machine Dreamcast. This is the August 1998 issue. Actually, if I can find that article in here somewhere, I know it's in here somewhere. Actually, there's a couple, I believe. Apologize while I'm flipping through this here. As you can see, there's a bunch of E3 articles in here, which one of, or actually a couple of, are about the Dreamcast. Here it is. The Cutting Edge, Sega Awakens with Dreamcast. By revealing its latest video game system, Sega has finally come clean on the worst-kept secret in the business. Say sayonara to Katana and hello to Dreamcast. As you can see, it's showing off a whole bunch of different things that the Dreamcast can do, including linking two VMUs together to share game saves and extra add-on game items. But definitely very, very cool. Actually, you can see they're actually calling it the VMS here, which is obviously not the final name for it. But yeah, I got this lot on eBay of 6 different magazines for $10, so definitely well worth it. Definitely a really enjoyable read. Actually, this one I actually bought for the Nintendo 64, showing off 1997 games. I just recently got a Nintendo 64, so I figure this is a good thing to look through to find out about some games. But yeah, there is my stack of GamePro magazines. Alright, so on to the bulk of my pickups this month, which actually just got no place to put those magazines, just throw them on the floor. But yeah, I just recently picked up a lot of 20 Sega Genesis games for about 26 bucks, which is equivalent to, I don't know, about $1.10 per game. So that's a really, really good deal. You definitely can't go wrong with that. Of course, there are sports games in the lot, but it's to be expected. But there aren't a whole lot. But there are some really good games in here, so I'll just go through them one by one and show you what I got. So I'll get the sports games out of the way right away and just go through them quickly. I'm sure you're not too interested in them. But first one here is NBA Live 95, which actually isn't NBA Live 95. As you can see, there's nothing in here. I actually had a football game in here before, but I took it out. Not very exciting. This will go in my box of sports games that are useless to me and that I will never play. So the next one up here is a sealed brand new copy of Joe Montana 2 Sports Talk Football. Amazing. As you can see, sealed. Woohoo! Anyway, on to the next one here. So next up we have PGA Tour Golf. Exciting stuff. You can see we have the manual cartridge case, blah blah blah. On to the next one. PGA Tour Golf 2. Yes, twice the fun. Actually, I already had this game, but actually I don't have this game, I have the case for this game. I have PGA Tour Golf 1 inside of it. So it's actually kind of nice to have the actual game, which I can put in the actual case. But yeah. Alright, so next up, I think that's the end of the sports games. Actually, no, I think there are a few more. Or maybe not. Well, if there are, then I'll show them to you later, but let's get on to the actual good games here. First up, Altered Beast. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of this game. So he plays this guy that can transform into a beast, werewolf, as you can see on the front cover. But yeah, it's definitely a good game. I've played this on the Dreamcast in the I forget what it's called, but it has a bunch of Genesis games on it, including Altered Beast. I haven't gotten very far in it, but definitely a good game. Very kind of cool. It's a 2D side-scrolling action, I guess you'd call it maybe a beat-em-up, but yeah, Altered Beast. I'm sure many of you have already played that, or at least seen it. So next up, we have Echo, Tides of Time. So this is a game where you play as a dolphin, and you swim around and solve puzzles, I believe. I haven't played this particular game, but I have played the Dreamcast Echo. I forget what the subtitle for that was, but yeah, it's definitely a niche game. It's definitely not for everybody. I found at least the Dreamcast version to be very hard to figure out. You're just swimming around, and it's very hard to figure out what you're supposed to do next. I've heard this one is quite hard as well, so yeah, Echo, Tides of Time. I believe, yes, it is missing the manual. Unfortunately, a lot of the games are missing the manual, which I didn't know, but it's not really the seller's fault. He didn't say whether they were included or not. I kind of figured they would since they're in the case, but I guess a lot of people lose the manuals. Okay, so on to the next one here, which is The Lion King. This is actually a very good game. I haven't played the Genesis version, but I've played the Game Gear version, and I really like it. It's definitely a really good platformer. So I assume this is pretty much the same except with updated graphics. So that's cool. I believe this is, yes, this is missing the manual as well, but cartridge and case are in good condition. Alright, so on to the next one here, which is Batman Returns, another platformer, obviously based on Batman Returns. I've heard this isn't a very good game. I haven't played it myself. I actually just got this game on the Game Gear, and then I sold it, basically because people said it was a bad game. I actually didn't try it, but maybe I'll try it. I don't know. We'll see. Batman Returns. So next up, we have the Ren and Stimpy show presents Stimpy's Invention. Yeah, well, it's a game based off of the Nickelodeon TV series. I don't know if it's any good. I assume it's a platformer. Looks interesting. Maybe I'll try it out, maybe not. Kind of cool. Alright, so next up we have Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. I actually had this game, but I did not have the case, just the cartridge. So at least now I have the case, but still don't have a manual. But no big deal. I don't think I really have to explain what this game is. If you have not heard of Street Fighter 2, get out from under that rock you're hiding under. But yeah, this game has been revised about 1,000,000 times with Super, Turbo, Express, Hyper, Super Duper. But yeah, Super Street Fighter 2. Or not Super Street Fighter, just Street Fighter 2. Alright, so on to the next one here. This one I'm actually really looking forward to playing. This is Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi. This is another game in the Shinobi series. Really looking forward to trying this one out. I saw the Classic Game Room review of this, and it looks really, really fun, and has this really cool mechanic where you can use a dog, which is your partner in the game, to attack your enemies. And I think that is really cool. I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. But this one also missing the manual. Cartridge is kind of rough. Labels a little torn. But, you know, as long as it works, should be fun to play. Alright, so on to the next one, which is Decap Attack. I've heard this is a pretty good game. This is a side-scrolling platformer, as with most Genesis games and most of the games I have here. But it looks pretty cool. I haven't played it, but I have seen some videos of it. Definitely looks pretty neat. Unfortunately, there's no game in the case. This game was supposed to come in the lot, but as you can see, it ain't here. I have contacted the seller, so hopefully he can find it and send it to me, or give me a discount or something. But I got the manual. The cover's torn off of it, but yeah. That's Decap Attack, or the case for it anyway. Next up, we have Streets of Rage 2. Another game I'm sure pretty much all of you have heard of. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up in the Streets of Rage series. Very popular game. I have played this as well. I've played it on the... this was also on the Dreamcast collection. And I believe this one is also, yes, is also missing the manual. Got some nicks in the cartridge, but not too bad case condition. And on to the next game here, which is Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. This game is kind of strange because they completely abandoned the Pac-Man formula in favor of a side-scrolling platformer. Surprise, surprise. It actually does have apparently the original arcade game in here. It says 3 games in 1. I don't know if they're including Pac-Man 2, but yeah. Actually says here, bonus gameplay. Step into the Pac-Man City arcade and play the original Pac-Man in a mystery Pac-Man, or mystery Pac game in their entirety. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if the game's really that bad, but we'll see. Oh, and here's definitely a gem in the collection. Prepare to be astonished. Crystal's Ponytail. Wow. Can't wait to play this thing. Yep, definitely be playing this most likely immediately after I finish filming this video. I will be right on this. Yeah. But yeah, missing the manual, cartridge, don't really care. Going off to the side. Next. Okay, so we do have a couple more sports games. I thought I did. The first one here is Team USA Basketball. Missing the manual, the cartridge is in there. Not that I really care, it could be missing, and I wouldn't really care. Going in the box of useless sports games. I just like to usually, I don't know, just throw those in with stuff I sell, but it's about the only way I can get rid of them. But here we have Andre Agassi Tennis. Obviously, a tennis game with Andre Agassi in it, the famous tennis player. Of course, this one comes with the manual. Can't get any of the good games to come with the manual. But yeah, Andre Agassi tennis. Woohoo! Alright, so we have a few more games here, just some cartridge-only games. The first one, Sports Talk Football 93, yay. Sonic the Hedgehog, not for resale version. This is the version that came with the Genesis when you purchased it. Also, we have Link's Chopper Attack. I assume it's a helicopter game. Kind of makes sense since it's called Chopper Attack or Attack Chopper. Yeah, don't know anything about it, but hey, I'll give it a try. And last but not least, well, no, not least, that would be the pony game, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not for resale version. I already have Sonic games. I have Sonic Collection on the Genesis, which has Sonic 1, 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and I also have Sonic 3. But I don't have a standalone Sonic 2 game, so maybe I'll keep it. The drawback with the collection that I have is it doesn't work with the Game Genie, so you need a standalone cartridge for that. So now I have one, so kind of cool. Anyway, that would be the last of the games. Whole lot of Genesis games. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and thanks again for watching.